पाकिस्तान से दिल जान से प्यार है हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से दिल जान से
Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. You can't take Pakistan from me. Take me out to the black, tell them I'm not coming back. Burn the land and boil the sea. You can't take Pakistan from me.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the special transmission of World This Morning. Today is the 6th of September and a national day as we commemorate as a Martyrs Day as well, Defense Day as well. And with me today, unfortunately, Shahzad is not here, but he has been replaced by one of our anchors as well, Ahmed Nawaz, who's been on the show before. Assalamu alaikum, Ahmed. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I am very nostalgic. I'm very patriotic. And I think more than that, I'm honored that yet another 6th of September, yet another Defense Day. And God has given us another opportunity to honor all of our heroes who've laid down their lives for the defense of the motherland.
Indeed, indeed. So on the 6th of September, this basically in 1965 marked the ceasefire between India and Pakistan. So this actually began when Pakistan had started Operation Gibraltar, and then there was a war between India and Pakistan that went on for 17 days. And you know, after World War II, this was the biggest display of tanks on ground. And because this kept on going for so long, then after 17 days, the UN and other authorities had to intervene, and that marked the ceasefire, which of course our enemies have been violating ever since. But you know, that is the history of it. And today we're all here to commemorate and to value the sacrifices of the nation and of the armed forces that, you know, who actually laid their lives in to promote their motherland, of course. We're here to value them, and we obviously love them from all our hearts and absolutely pray for them from the depth of our hearts. And now we're heading towards a short break. We will be shortly back. Stay tuned to BTV World because we are here for the special transmission of the Martyrs Day today.
Right, welcome back. Now, those were live visuals from Lahore where the Defence and Martyrs Day ceremony is taking place as well. And these ceremonies will be taking place all across the country. We'll be updating you as well. Meanwhile, in Lahore, Co-Commander Lahore was there in the guest of honours, and Chief Minister Punjab Usman Buzdar and Governor Punjab Chaudhry Mohammad Sarwar, who were all chief guests of the ceremony as well. And like we said, Defence and Martyrs Day of Pakistan is being celebrated, and we'll have these ceremonies all over the country. We'll keep updating you on this. Right now, Shiza, I know we have a bunch of people whom sitting next to we feel very honoured. And we're absolutely proud that they're here.
Absolutely. Now, I think without further ado, it's time to introduce them. They've been very patient with us, of course. And on my right-hand side, we have been joined by retired Air Marshal Yusuf Chaudhry Saab, who has been on our show before. Thank you so much for taking out time on this special day. Assalamu alaikum. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very happy. First of all, I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to come on this very special day of our history of our armed forces. And more than that, I am really honored sitting next to the family of a martyr. I think no other or bigger honor could be more than that. Of course,
absolutely. That's what we feel on our show. Sitting next to Mr. Chaudhry, we have a family of one of the superheroes of Pakistan who very proudly laid his life for the defense of the country, of course. We're very proud of his sacrifice. We value him. And thank you so much for being here. This is his daughter, Iza, who happens to be Shaheed Major Afaq Malik's daughter. Thank you so much for being here. Assalamu alaikum. And next to Iza, we have Shaheed Major Afaq Malik's sister, Ms. Javeria. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for being here. Now, you know, I want to start the conversation with it's different for everyone, what Defense Day means for them. So for our generation, I feel like it means that we know the memories of our Shaheeds, of course, the Ghazis and Shaheeds, of course. We have read in our textbooks as well. And in our schools as well. We had ceremonies and everything where we were learning that the sacrifices that have been made, along with a resilient nation, of course. The armed forces and the nation, both of them fought together to save Pakistan, to defend Pakistan. And today that is what we're going to talk about.
Right, and absolutely, while talking about that as well, we're talking about all these ceremonies taking place throughout the country which are honoring our martyrs and the defense of Day of Pakistan as well. On the very left of your screens, you can see the live ceremony from Lahore where they're honoring our martyrs, and a very presentable ceremony is taking place as well. And obviously, families of the martyrs would be there as well who are stationed in Lahore, and all those Lahoriites who are eager to support Pakistan as well are there to support their armed forces and honor their martyrs as well. And we'll be giving you these details from time by time. Right, I know you were talking about reading in textbooks and knowing this history, which we've known over the years. But I think knowing it from a person who's been there,
who's been serving the forces,
is absolutely superb. Like, we get to know the real-time experience of what been there. And Air Marshal Saab, I think you can highlight it in the best possible of ways.
Yeah, for a person who has actually served in the forces, and you know your duty was to defend the country. What does this day mean to you?
I think it is, everything is your country. Your own life, your family life, your relationships, they become secondary.
Right.
And that's the only reason that being a small country and overwhelmingly outnumbered by our enemy, still we had done so well during the 1965 war.
Absolutely.
And more than that, I think it is the support of the nation. It is support of your family.
Right.
I was reading, somebody sent me a message that it really needs the courage to face the volley of bullets, but it needs more courage to send your son in that situation. And that's what our nation is doing. They're sending their sons and brothers on the front line, knowing that chances of a martyrdom are very bright there. Right. And the reaction of the nation, reaction of the families after they lose their dear ones is marvelous. It is only, I think, in Muslim countries, or especially in Pakistan. And the spirit which I saw a couple of times, this is a special virtue of our nation, which can be utilized for the betterment of the country, for the defense of the country. I can narrate two incidents where I saw it myself. When 1965 war started, I was a student.
Okay.
And then television was either not there, even if it was there, maybe it was very rare.
Had it,
And 6th of September in the morning, India crossed our international border, which was not to be, and started the war attacking Lahore sector. And it was around 11 o'clock or so in the day that President of Pakistan, General Ayub Khan, he addressed the nation. And I was in Bazaar, and it used to be radio was quite common, so every shop had a radio. And I could see that 30, 40 people gathered on every almost shop, and with full volume of the radio, they were trying to listen to the speech of General. And after 10 minutes or so, the speech was over. It was in Urdu, of course, when he said, "Oh, my countrymen, our enemy has challenged us today, and he does not know which nation he is going to confront," and all that. And after 10 minutes, I can still vividly remember the spirit of jihad in everybody's eyes and everybody's body language. It was worth remembering. I still remember it.
Everybody was ready to retaliate.
They were ready to. They just wanted. How can they practically participate in that?
Right.
And they actually wanted to go to border and fight, which was, of course, not possible. And that was very evident when the people, the different formations were passing through our city. I know how slogans were being chanted, how they were joining those troops which were passing through our city, how eatables they were throwing on them, and all that. That emotion was worth watching. And that was one of the reasons that we succeeded in that, because wars are won not by armies only, they are won by the nation.
By the nation, absolutely.
And speaking about that address as well, which you mentioned, I think that has its own significance, because that address from General Ayub Khan in history would be remembered as a call to the nation, which they answered daily.
They answered, and they will always answer, I'm very sure. Second, I remember that we used to celebrate 6th September just before this menace of terrorism started to creep in, on every base we used to station our aeroplanes and their weapons and other equipment, and bases were open to general public.
Oh, wow.
And thousand people would walk down from the villages, from the towns to our bases and watch that.
Okay.
And in addition to that, to attract those people, to make them happy, we used to have air display as well. After every 1 hour, first one airplane, then another airplane, all types of airplane would come and perform over there for 3 to 5 minutes or so. It was 1985, I still remember, and I was an F-16 pilot as co-leader at that time. I was deputed to that group of people who were to perform aerobatics. I had 2 sorties to fly. One was at 11 o'clock,
Okay.
because F-16 has more fuel, so I had to perform at Sargodha, then at Shorecourt.
Okay. Okay.
And second was 3 o'clock at Sargodha and Shorecourt. 3 o'clock we would stop that because we have to start unwinding so that people can be sent out of the base, and we start to take aeroplanes into the hangars and all that. When you flew the second mission, of course, you're so busy in aerobatics, you don't look down. Generally, you're too busy. So the moment I landed after a second performance, and I was about to go back home, I was removing my flying gear in the Air Defense Alert hut, I got a call from my base commander. He says, Yusuf, are you ready to fly another mission? Are you fit enough to fly another mission? So I was wondering that there is no other mission. Today is a holiday, as you said, public holiday. And this is the last mission which I've already flown. I was quite confused. I said, yes, I am available. He said, please quickly go to the flight line, take an aeroplane, and get airborne, because here it is almost a law and order situation here.
Okay.
People are chanting slogans that we want to see F-16 once again.
Oh.
We are not going to go back
But that's brilliant,
unless
right?
you show us aerobatics. So please get airborne and do that.
Wow.
So I got airborne, and of course when I came for the first run, because he had said the situation on the ground. And so I did look down. I could see thousands and thousands of people in the base itself, and you couldn't even drop a pin. The space was so occupied. And even I could see the gesture. I couldn't hear them, but I could imagine the slogans they were chanting and the spirit which I could see in their gesture. The moment I pulled up, I was coming in second maneuver. I just passed the base, and there's a road leading to the base coming from Sargodha. Same situation was in that road also.
So like in every corner of the country,
Every
basically.
corner of that city. So when I was coming in for landing, after doing that, just before landing, air traffic control tells me, base commander is asking you, do you have enough fuel? I said, yes, I have fuel. He says, go to Lahore. Same situation is in Lahore as well.
Oh, wow.
I went to Lahore. Then it used to be old terminal. This new airport was not there. When I went for the first pass, I saw same situation at the base.
Okay.
When I pulled up and I saw a road leading to the airport, that is probably Mall Road, and that was also full of people.
Jam-packed.
And same raising their wrist and all that, saying the same. And I was really very emotional in the cockpit itself. I said, no nation can defeat this nation, which has this much of spirit.
Exactly. You were just telling me the story has given me goosebumps, to be honest.
And because Marshal Saab was talking about Lahore as well, we can still see the same spirit of the people of Lahore, who have come out in great numbers to celebrate the defense and honor the Martyrs' Day as well. On the very left bottom of your screen, you can see that the ceremony to honor our martyrs and the Defense Day of Pakistan is being held in Lahore, where Co-Commander Lahore, Governor Punjab Chaudhry Mohammad Sarwar, Chief Minister Punjab Usman Buzdar are all there as chief guests, and the people of Lahore have turned out in great numbers, including members of the civil society, members of the armed forces, and members of all those families who have sacrificed their sons and, sacrificed their brothers in the line of duties as well. And
when Air Marshal was talking about that everything else becomes secondary when you want to, serve your country. So that is something so great that you said. Now coming to you, Iza, now you happen to be a student at this point in time. You're from a different generation, but I have to say you should be very proud of where you're coming from. Mashallah, your father is a superhero for all of us, not only for you. So what does this special day mean for you?
This day is very special for me. It's the day of remembrance, I'd say. There are many, many people who laid their lives, may they be army men or they may be civilians.
Civilians, of
But this nation has sacrificed a lot for this day, and this day is a tribute to all of them.
Yeah.
And this day is a day of remembrance to all of the people who sacrificed so much for the nation.
Yeah, exactly.
And also it is a day that invokes a sense of pride in every Pakistani.
Absolutely, yes.
It's
That's
a day
true.
that motivates us to serve our country and to work for our country.
Okay, that's great. Beautifully said. Now coming to you, Ms. Javeria, you happen to be Major Afaq's sister. What must 6 September mean to you? मतलब इसकी value आपके लिए बहुत फर्क होगी. What does this mean to you?
पहले हम सिर्फ बुक्स में पढ़ा करते थे
जी
कि जंग क्या है.
जी
अब हम इस जंग का हिस्सा बन चुके हैं.
जी
तो ये हमारे लिए बड़ा अहम दिन है कि हम ना सिर्फ अपने भाई को याद करते हैं बल्कि सब शोहदा को.
बिल्कुल. Absolutely. Now this is indeed a day of remembrance. You know, I forgot to actually ask you what this day means to you. I was asking everyone. You know, this special meaning for everyone as we've been discussing. So as soon as you tell me what this means to you, we can maybe move on to the report that you have with
absolutely.
one of the martyrs.
For me, I must say I've been always a proud Pakistani.
Yes.
I'm not one of those people who are mostly proud Pakistanis on moments. I'm always a proud Pakistani.
Yes. That's
and
the spirit.
the same nostalgic or the same patriotic feeling one would have on the 14th of August, and I think we should celebrate this Defence and Martyrs Day with the same zeal and fervor. Reason, Shiza, is because our country is what we are. It's our identity, wherever we go into the world. And that's why even when I was, jotting down my poem as well a couple of years ago, the very fact came in that everything can be taken away from us.
Right.
The only thing we'll be left with is our identity as Pakistanis.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that is something we can cherish for generations to come.
That's true. And you know, just before the show, I was talking to Air Marshal over here, and I was asking him, you know, it's different for Air Force because, you know, you're on the borders all the time, you know, defending the frontiers. So they know what the war situation is going to be before anyone else does. And then he said, for Air Force, it is always a war situation. There's no peace situation.
Yeah, because they're always on high alert.
Exactly.
Yeah, and when we move more towards Air Marshal Saab, we'll go towards a very, very short break. Where when we come back, we're going to have some more discussion.
Stay tuned. We have so much to discuss.
हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से दिल जान से प्यार है हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से दिल जान हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से दिल जान से प्यार है हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से दिल जान से हमें प्यार है.
Well, welcome back to World This Morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the special transmission on the Martyrs Day, the 6th of September, also known as Defence Day. And I'm very proud to say that the spirits in the studio right now are so lifted and emotional as well, I have to say, patriotic as well, but because the guests are so amazing and the stories that they have to share with us, they're giving us goosebumps. So without further ado, moving on to Iza, who happens to be the daughter of a superhero of Pakistan, as I always keep saying, Shaheed Major Afaq. Iza, what are some of the memories that keep, you know, staying with you till date of your father, of course?
I always remember Baba smiling. I always remember his smiling face, and at home he was a very good-natured person. And I always remember him pushing me and motivating me. I used to be very keen about my studies, and even when I just got a little bad grades, and I was very sad about myself. But he always said that, "Okay, beta, you will do it." He always motivated me that, okay, you will do it.
Yeah, he always supported you in everything.
Yeah.
But that's what fathers do, that's great. But coming to you, Ms. Javeria, आपके तो वो भाई थे, आपने उनके साथ बहुत ज़्यादा वक्त गुजारा ऑब्वियसली, और क्योंकि आप उनकी छोटी बहन थी तो एक वो बॉन्ड ही अलग होता है. आपकी क्या मेमोरीज हैं जो आज तक आपके साथ चलती हैं शहीद मेजर आफाक की?
वो बहुत केयरिंग थे
जी,
बहुत प्यार करने वाले. और जो सबसे बड़ी बात है कि वो डरते नहीं थे, बहादुर बहुत थे. जब वो सवात ऑपरेशन के लिए गए तो कभी मैं टीवी में देखूं कि कोई न्यूज़ आई है कि जैसे बम ब्लास्ट हुआ है, फ़ोन करूं तो मुझे तसल्ली के लिए कहते, यार चेक करना बाहर कोई बम तो नहीं फटा, मेरे घर से कॉल आई है. तो मुझे हो जाता कि चलिए वैसे ही ठीक है, सब ठीक है. तो मुझे ये मतलब फ़ख्र है इस बात पे कि वो बहुत बहादुर हैं. अब उनकी बहादुरी की वजह से मैं इतनी हो गई हूँ कि मैं अपने बच्चों को भी आर्मी में भेजने के लिए तैयार हूँ, जबकि पहले मैं बहुत डरती थी कि ये बड़ी मुश्किल बात है, लेकिन हालांकि मैंने भाई खो दिया है, लेकिन
And that's the spirit, Shiza. You know that all these families of these martyrs, one of the
And
other
these are
stories.
also, sorry to cut you, Ahmed,
Yes.
but these are also some amazing pictures of Major Afaq that we're running in the video. Producers, can we have them again?
Yes, the pictures of Major Afaq
You were
Shaheed.
saying.
And yeah, I'm saying that all of these families, I was listening to another story last night sitting with one of my family members who's serving right now as well. And he told me about a very young boy whose brother is also a Shaheed. And he said that when he was passing out, he was told that he won't be given a fighting arm because he was the only son left. And he actually said that I would actually leave the army if I'm not giving a fighting arm. So the spirit of sacrificing one family member and still ready to sacrifice even more
for the motherland
for the
only.
motherland is what makes this nation so resilient.
Yeah, you
And,
know, this is what we should actually ask, you know, Air Marshal over here as well. When you are joining the forces, this is one thing you know for sure, that there's no, you know, there's no guarantee if you're going to return to your home or not. So what is the spirit that we're talking about? You know, the idea that inside you, the concept that keeps you going, that this is what I have to do, everything else is secondary. What is the level of the spirit?
I think that is probably God-given spirit in you, that you don't think of danger, you're not scared of danger, and your only objective is that, okay, this mission has to be accomplished, come what may. And without thinking second time, you go for that. I remember many times I have flown those missions, I may not explain here, where chances of coming back were very bleak.
Yeah.
But I never thought of that. I remember in one of the missions, when I was to go, my squadron commander said, have you heard the intelligence brief? Because the intelligence brief said defenses are so strong where I was going that you may not come back, although it was in peacetime mission, but it was related to operations.
Okay.
I said, that I've heard, that doesn't matter, but I have to go. And of course, I came back by the grace of Almighty Allah. And of course, we don't even tell our families. It was in the northern area of that mission, and although it was May and quite hot in the central Punjab, so they told me that you got to wear undergarments because if you eject in snow, you may not survive otherwise. Although I told them I won't survive with that dress anyway. So I was taking that out, I was taking my jacket out, so my wife asked me, why you're taking these things, because it is hot.
In the summers.
So I didn't want to share with her unless I come back and tell her. And I said, no, I just want to exchange these because they've gone old. So I want to return the old and get new ones. And of course, I took that and went away, of course, wife not even knowing that. But I give credit to our families. I think
they have such big hearts, sir.
They have
They're
such
so
big
courageous.
hearts. Because I have seen, because it is a very dangerous profession, fighter flying, and quite often we lose our comrades. And I've seen the difficulties their families have come across. When head of the family goes, then generally we have housewives and with small kids. I can tell you it is a very difficult life they spend, despite the fact that Air Force tries, Army tries, and Government of Pakistan tries to make them as comfortable as possible.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
why I tell people that please, these families, I pay the highest gratitude to these people. They sacrificed their dearest thing over this country to make us safe.
Exactly.
When our people sleep in their beds, remember, some people are paying the price standing on the border, flying in the air, and of course, going in the sea as well.
Absolutely. So very beautifully put. But moving on to you, Iza, Air Marshal just said that, you know, whenever there was such a situation, he avoided telling his family about it. Was your dad the same? Did he engage you with everything, you guys, your family, with all the information, what he was doing?
No, never.
He would never put you in any tension or stress, right?
He never did. He had been a part of Operation Rahe Rast in Swat for 3 years.
Okay, wow.
And every time we used to call him, he was very calm and he used to reply in a very peaceful manner so that we don't get stressed out for that. And even when he was in the present time, when he was at the intelligence, he never shared anything, whether he was going for a mission or anything else. He never shared that because he didn't want us to be stressed about that. He just kept everything to himself. I'd say.
And that's one of the part you have to play, not the army officers themselves, but like you said, their families are the ones who have those big hearts, and every one of Pakistani has to play their role for the strengthening of the nation and for the defense of the motherland as well. As we go back to 1965, again, we remember that it was actually the nation who came out in resilience, and hearing all those stories from your ancestors of people bringing everything they could from their houses and going towards the border.
Exactly. Now that's the spirit we're talking about.
About as well, and because we're talking about the martyrs of Pakistan, there is another martyr that is worth mentioning as well, and that was Lieutenant Samuel Haq Shaheed, who lost his life on the line of duty. He was a post commander on the line of control as well, and the enemy
At Akbar Post, yes.
At Akbar Post, yes, and the enemy, when they've always retaliated, when they've always infiltrated, they've destroyed the peace, they've violated every international law. It's our soldiers, it's our officers, it's our Jawans who have retaliated, who've stood there. And interesting fact was that their post was outnumbered from 3 directions. They were out of ammunition, and Samuel Haq Shaheed and his Jawans still retaliated, still kept the enemy at bay. And there is even a moment which is mentioned in history, which will always be there in history, where Sami, when he was out of ammunition, managed to choke the enemy with his bare hands to death as well, and still did his best to retaliate as well. And we have a report compiled on Lieutenant Samuel Haq Shaheed as well by one of our correspondents from PTV World. We'll have you look at that, and then we'll come back.
Let's take a look.
Lieutenant Samuel Haq Shaheed is a martyr of Pakistan Army who embraced martyrdom on 22nd January year 2000 at Akbar Post, Cham Jodiyan sector. After midnight on 22nd January, Indian Army attacked Akbar Post in large numbers. Lieutenant Samuel Haq Shaheed was the post commander and was present there along with few of his troops. Despite being overwhelmed by superior number and massive firepower of enemy, Lieutenant Samuel Haq fought bravely along with his troops and managed to kill several soldiers and an officer of Indian Army. In anger, Indians took his dead body with them and returned it 4 days later.
In 1996, I was going for Hajj. At about 3:30 in the morning, he was to drop me at airport. And when we reached airport, I took him aside and I said, Sami, if you want anything from Jeddah or Makkah or Medina, you please tell me. He said, Abu, please pray for my shahadat. I was surprised. I said, can a father ask for his son's shahadat? He said, no, Abu, please pray for me that I embrace shahadat.
Lieutenant Samuel Haq Shaheed was from 97 Long Course of Pakistan Army and served in the 2nd Pak Battalion as BSM. He joined his father's unit 24 Baluch after passing out of PMA.
My son embraced Shahadat about 18 years and 7 months back. But during all these years, it was never celebrated like this year. It is being celebrated and all the Shaheeds are being remembered. All the mothers of the Shaheeds, sisters, and all those who embrace Shahadat, they are being remembered nationwide, and this is what makes me feel proud that our Shaheeds will be always remembered.
Before martyrdom, Lieutenant Samuel Haq Shaheed received Sitara Basalat for rescuing dozens of people from River Chenab near Marala Headworks. Coastmates of Lieutenant Sami Shaheed from 97 Long Course organized an yearly remembrance event at his gravesite under the auspices of Sanghi's Association of 97 Long Course.
One of our martyrs as well, Lieutenant Samuel Haq Shaheed, very young of age when he laid down his life for the country as well. And Marshal Saab, I want to ask you this question, that this valor, this courage is from the very first day when you decide to join the forces. Because Sami's father mentioned as well, and reading the history as well, I got to know that when his father was going to offer Hajj, Sami was in PMA. And when his father asked him, what do you want from Saudi Arabia? He said, Abu, please pray for my shahadat. At that time, when he had no knowledge whether he'd be given a fighting arm, wherever he's going or not, PMA's 2 years was still there as well. So this is the courage from day one, and especially those families, because I know one of Sami's brothers has also been put into another fighting arm as well.
I think probably it is something special in our brought up. Everybody desires, whether he is able to join the armed forces or not, he wants to be a martyr. may look a little odd, but I do want to give example of mine. I was probably 8, 9 years old age. My father and especially grandfather was very religious minded. They would offer prayers and they would say, why aren't you offering 5 times prayer? And a young boy, you're not very regular. So when my grandfather asked me, and I was 9 years old, had no idea which profession I'm going to join, and he said, do you know that you're going to be asked about it on the day of judgment? I said, Dada, I'm going to be a martyr, and there's no hisab kitab of martyr. At years of 9, probably it is that brought up, and every kid I think in Pakistan is like that, whether he joins the armed forces or not. And why we value our martyrs so much is not only we value, even God Almighty Allah values that, because the dearest thing which one has is his own life. You ask 80 years old man or 100 years old man, he still wants to live, he doesn't want to go. And here's a young boy, a flower which has just blossomed at the age of 24, 25 years of age, and there he sacrifices his life. And that's why in Surah Baqarah, God says that don't call those who are slain in the path of Allah dead. They are alive, we don't understand that. And the sacrifice of the families you can see. Look at his father. He raised his child, he fed him well, he educated him well, he groomed him well. Now when he was at the peak of his age, young of 25, 26, he has given that. That's why even family has been honored by our religion and by our nation same way. For example, Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, when he was saying 10 special blessings of Allah on a shaheed, one of that he says that he will intercede 70 family members on the day of judgment.
Wow.
So that means not only that he has gotten choicest place in Jannah, he has ensured that these people who are left behind, inshallah, they will also be in Jannah.
Wow, beautiful.
Similarly, when we say that he is living, you did show a small shot here. We were celebrating 6th September. The program was recorded about 3 days back. We called wife of a shaheed of 1971 war on the stage. She was on the wheelchair, and she said, I've spent 47 years without him. When he died, I had one child of 7 months and another 2.5 years, and a housewife. You can imagine the degree of difficulty in raising those kids. But she said when he went for war, before that often he used to say that in case I become a shaheed, don't worry, I will always be with you. And she said, practically I felt that way. Whenever I came through a hard situation, I thought he was with me. I felt that. And that gave me courage. And that's how I spent 47 years and raised my children. Today they are a good citizen of this country and ready to sacrifice their lives. So they stay with us. And these families, they are ensured in Jannah, at least according to me.
Yes, of course.
Because Holy Prophet has said that.
Of course,
And Shiza, that's where you can go towards
Yeah,
Iza as well. That
Iza, I was
their
about to
father
ask you
is
the
still with
same
them.
thing, you know, just before the show I was discussing with Iza, and she very beautifully said that a martyr never dies. He always stays with you. So you told me, but I want you to talk to, you know, everyone out there as well. In what forms has he stayed with you? How do you feel like he's with you in every, you know, you said in every moment he's with you?
He has always been with me. He has never departed from me. Whenever I face some situation where I have to decide something, he comes in my dreams and he answers me. Whenever someone says something about the shoda, you know, the perception. So he comes in the dreams directly or indirectly. He conveys to me that I am with you.
Right, and Iza will continue on this as well. Right now we're going to go towards another very short break. When we come back, we'll keep on discussing and honoring our martyrs and the Defence Day of Pakistan. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
प्यार है हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से दिल जान से प्यार है हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान प्यार है हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से दिल जान से प्यार है हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से दिल
these were the live visuals from Balochistan, but back to our show. We're talking to a family of a Shaheed, and we have with us his sister as well, Major Afaq Shaheed. Ms. Javeria, अभी मैं इसा से और Air Marshal साहब से यही बात कर रही थी कि Shaheed never dies. He always lives in our heart. आपके भाई हमारी कंट्री के लिए एक प्राइड है, ऑफ कोर्स वो हमारे दिलों में है, हमारी मेमोरीज में है, हम पूरा पाकिस्तान थैंकफुल है उनके सैक्रिफाइस के लिए, लेकिन वो आपके साथ भी हैं हर मोमेंट में. आपको कैसे फील होता है कि ही इज़ नॉट हेयर बट लेकिन वो आपके साथ फिर भी हैं आपकी यादों में हर वक्त, मेमोरीज में, बिकॉज शहीद तो हमेशा ज़िंदा रहता है.
बेशक शहीद हमेशा ज़िंदा रहता है, वो मरता नहीं है
जी.
मैंने ख्वाब में देखा था वो आते हैं और मैं उनसे लिपट जाती हूँ और मैं कहती हूँ आप किधर थे, तो कहते मैं तो इधर ही हूँ, मैं तो कहीं नहीं गया. और हर वक्त फील होता है कि जैसे हैं.
जी. तो
और यही चीज़ आपको वो करेज देती है कि आप अपने बेटे भी आर्मी में भेजने के लिए तैयार हैं. और ये क्योंकि आपसे ज़्यादा बेहतर कोई भी नहीं समझ सकता कि जो कौम के लिए कुर्बानी आपके भाई ने दी, ऐसी कुर्बानी अगर आपको और भी देना पड़े तो आप इसके लिए तैयार हैं.
बिल्कुल. Now, Isa, you have written a poem about your father. Do you want to share it with us? It would be our absolute pleasure. Please go ahead.
So, it goes by the name The Promise.
Okay.
Every single time I hear your name, a torch of memories flashes within me. Every single time I see your clothes, a sea of nostalgia drowns me in. Every single time I recall your smile, a breeze of ecstasy stirs up my heart. All your belongings are evocative of your existence, while you are gone to fulfill the vow you made. The vow you made to defend the nation kept you going on until your last breath. The vow you made to be the resolute wall and shield your motherland was very imperative. The vow you made as a patriotic soldier guided your fervor to the path of martyrdom. Your fearless tread towards the battlefield invokes in me always a sense of pride. A sense of pride that you are far ahead, but still around as you aren't dead. A sense of pride that you fulfilled the promise you made to the soil of your motherland. A sense of pride that never lets me to sadness when you aren't around, because I know that you are gone for the country you loved, to your Allah to fulfill the promise you made.
Beautiful, beautifully written, Isa. You did it yourself?
Yeah.
MashaAllah, it's so beautiful. Are you the eldest of your siblings?
Yes, I'm the eldest.
So, of course, there's a sense of responsibility on you.
Always.
So how were you supporting them when this all happened? Of course, I know you're very mature, mashallah. I can see it in you. And I know for a fact that you were the supporting pillar for your family in that moment. So how were your brothers relying on you as well, your mother relying on you as well? How was it?
Well, that happened in 2011. I was myself 11 years old at that time, and my brothers, one of them was 9 years old and the other one was 6 years old. And we know that what we needed to survive is that we should bond together. We had to stick together. My pupos and my taya, they just helped us stick together.
Right.
And my mama, and we just stick together, and that's how you survive.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You have to be, together to survive. That is true. But
coupled with all of these things, Shiza, I think I want to move on to another very important aspect of the 1965 war. Yeah. And like we said, the whole nation played their part. The artists of our country as well did a huge something for the country. The patriotic songs sung by
motivating,
motivating as well, from the likes of great legends from Madam Noor Jahan and other people like that as well, who actually motivated not just our soldiers but our nation as well, and bond them together in this unbreakable chain which defended the country. One of our correspondents has a report on the patriotic songs of the 1965 war. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
Pakistani singers played their pivotal role in the 1965 war. Singers of top caliber such as Noor Jahan, Mehdi Hassan, Ahmad Rushdi, Alam Lahar, Salim Raza and others played their part collectively to propel the nation forward. They made the nation realize that we, Pakistanis, are equipped with self-confidence and unwavering faith, and that Pakistan as a nation would not be undone by the evil and ill-will designs of our enemy. They inspired Pak Army and its brave soldiers to show even more feats of unprecedented valor in the battlefield. Queen of Melody Noor Jahan's "Ae Watan Ke Sajeele Jawano," dedicated to the Pak armed forces who were bravely defending the borders of Pakistan, used to send waves of patriotism and national fervor down. Mehdi Hassan's "Apni Jaan Nazar Karoon" kept the fire raging within the people and the soldiers, and also paid a great service to their nation in those testing and hard times. While "ए मर्द मुजाहिद जाग ज़रा अब वक्त शहादत है आया," sung by Inayat Hussain Bhatti, is highly motivational, and it made it so forceful that one can feel the beat getting into one's heart. साथियों, मुजाहिदों, जाग उठा है सारा वतन।
Well, the legendary Mehdi Hassan Saab, Masood Saab, Noor Jahan, Madam Noor Jahan, of course, Alam Lohar Saab as well. All of these people played a key role in motivating our Jawans, our officers, the entire nation to be resilient in this 1965 war as well. And that tradition has still carried on forward to this date in the modern era as well, where we see these patriotic songs being played, they're being sung by all of these new singers as well, just to pay homage to these entire martyrs who have laid down their lives and to motivate the nation further as well. Marshal Saab, I must ask you this because you mentioned a very beautiful, and I was taken back to history about when we had that radio as well, but I'm very sorry, I'll have to cut you there. Governor Punjab, Chaudhry Mohammad Sarwar, is there as well on the ceremony as well. We'll take you live.
और कौम के अज़म की वजह से दहशतगर्दी को शिकस्त फाश हुई है। हमारे बच्चों पर हमले हुए, मसाजिद पर हमले हुए और फौजी तनसीबात को निशाना बनाया गया, मगर हमारी बहादुर अफवाज ने दहशतगर्दी का भरपूर मुकाबला करके इनको हर महाज पर पसपा किया और आज इन कुर्बानियों की वजह से पाकिस्तान नाकाबिले शिकस्त और नाकाबिले तस्खीर मुल्क बन चुका है। मुसल्लह अफवाज के बहादुर अफसरों और जवानों, पाक फ़ौज, पाक फ़ज़ाइया और पाक बहरिया मुल्क की हफाजत और तरक्की के लिए मुसलसल जद्दोजहद कर रहे हैं। हर कुदरती आफात में हमारी फ़ौज अपनी कौम के शाना बशाना होती है। हमारी मुसल्लह अफवाज अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा के अमन मिशन के तहत मुख्तलिफ़ मुल्कों में आलमी अमन के लिए अपना किरदार अदा कर रही है। आज हमारी अफवाज में हमारी बेटियों की भी एक कसीर तादाद दफ़ाए वतन के लिए खिदमात सर अंजाम दे रही है। वतन के शहीद और उनके लवाहकीन की कफ़ालत के लिए मुसल्लह अफवाज की काविशें काबिल तहसीन हैं। आज पूरी दुनिया में हमारी अफवाज की काबिलियत और उनके प्रोफेशनलिज्म की मोतरफ है। आज पाकिस्तान एक अजीम मुल्क बनकर उभर रहा है। अक़वाम आलम में पाकिस्तान की पहचान एक महफूज और खुददार मुल्क के तौर पर कायम हो रही है। इस कामयाबी को हासिल करने के लिए हमारी अफवाज और हमारी बहादुर कौम ने 50,000 से ज़ायद जानों का नजराना पेश किया है। हमारे अफसरों और जवानों ने कराची से लेकर खैबर तक मुल्क के कोने कोने से शफ़ाफ दुश्मन का मुकाबला किया है। ऑपरेशन ज़र्ब-ए-अज़ब, ऑपरेशन राह रास्त और ऑपरेशन राह नजात में पाकिस्तान की बहादुर अफवाज ने
तालियां गौल साहब के लिए।
Right, Governor Punjab said we are proud of our martyrs and their families, and we certainly are. Now, Air Marshal Saab, we were discussing about these patriotic songs, and because you mentioned a very historic instance of the radio when 40 to 50 people gathered there, talk me through these songs when they were being played through every street, through every corner of the country. What was the feeling like back then?
As I said, the feeling was identical whether you were on the border or you were in the town. As I was saying before, the moment that speech was heard by the people, and I could see queues for the people to give blood, because it was announced that we would need a lot of blood because our soldiers are getting injured on the front. And everybody wanted to contribute whatever they could. Groups were being made to be the volunteers to look after the security of the towns. I remember holding a small gun. Very few people had guns then, their private guns, and at night you were trying to be there as a guard and all that. These songs actually really played a very important role. Already you're very dedicated, and already your spirits are very high, but these people, they really make you excel in that area. And especially for the soldiers, they're fighting their way from their families and all that. At the moment they listen to these songs, whether in peacetime or war, I think they played a very important role to raise their morale and to raise their spirits.
Absolutely. Now, sir, this is when you're talking about when you were a student, right? When you were listening to all this and witnessing all this. But I think it is only imperative to mention that when you are a soldier, and in the very young ages later as well, when you're in a hard area, there is no entertainment, there is no enjoyment, no parties, no nothing. So what they do is they just gather, you know, on their own. They have one small radio, they play one or two songs, they keep repeating on, and that is the only source of enjoyment for them at that point in time. So it had, you know, it is always, I'm pretty sure, motivating for them to listen to these songs. But there are also places where there is no such enjoyment. And I was talking to Air Marshal about this, and he mentioned one of the incidents. So when you were a soldier, and then, you know, maybe sometimes you were part of a war scene, or maybe even in peace times as well. As a soldier, how was this motivating for you? The lyrics of it, the words of it, that the whole nation is depending on you, and we're proud of you, and we totally have confidence in you, that, you know, you are the guardians of our frontier.
Yeah, I think there are two reasons. One is that when you're joining armed forces, you're already probably motivated by your parents, so that's why you join armed forces. Otherwise, a lot many other areas are there where you can excel. That is one. Number two, it is part of our training that every now and then you're going to be given that motivational talk. So we keep getting motivated again and again. And then you have the role models in front of you. We do discuss that, what Imam Alam did in 1965 war, how did squad leader Rafiqi laid down his life, and Flight Yunus laid down his life. So your environment is such that all the time you're charged, all the time you're being motivated, all the time you see the people doing that and you want to copy that.
Right, Shiza, unfortunately we're very short on time. We know that there are a lot of other special ceremonies taking place as well. But on this day we can easily say that we can offer our lives, our souls and our hearts to the family of these martyrs.
All we have belongs to
and for the defense of the motherland as well. So for me and Shiza Jasmine Hashmi, Allah Hafiz, Pakistan, Zindabad.
Absolutely.
प्यार है हमें, प्यार है पाकिस्तान से, दिल जान से हमें प्यार है, हमें प्यार है, हमें जान से प्यार है, हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से, दिल जान से पाकिस्तान से, दिल जान से प्यार है, हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से, दिल जान से।